expecting more than maybe another community would. And if certainly the State Department of Education must have been encouraging the town to do this, to change the rules now makes no sense to me. So that downshifting of costs is contrary to an agreement made.
Do you think, like many do, and myself included, that just the mere fact that the House Democrats would send this forward would send such a concerning warning that many communities would not even consider building new schools because of the lack of the state? This example of the lack of the state being so quick to break a contract?
Mark, I guess the answer is yes, but I wish our citizenry would get more involved to understand the implication of that. You said, for example, it would discourage future efforts. Unfortunately, the folks out on the street are worried about their mortgage, and they should be worried about those mortgages. They should be worried about this, but in terms of priority, it's probably not on the radar screen for the average citizen, and that's the job of the candidates and the process.
I need to stay on this, Bud, because there's some ramification that I don't hear from either yourself or your opponent. The bond in Conway passed by 23 votes, and the people in Conway worked for over 30 years to come up with some sort of arrangement, and it's a very complex agreement between Conway and sending towns that won't be broken, but was dependent upon receiving state building aid. Had this been known, most assuredly that would have been factored in, and these two new beautiful schools that we have, Kennett High School and the renovations of the middle schools, would not have taken place on the mere fact that the House Democrats sent a bill or a budget over to the Senate. I don't think, I got to ask this in question. Do you think it's the citizenry that may not be paying attention, or is it the House Democrats that aren't paying attention?
Well,
fair enough.
So just to approach the budget from the other side, is the Republicans and Jeb Bradley specifically is saying we can just cut 13%. 13% we're fine, basically without raising taxes. Do you think that the state government can withstand a 13% cut?
that's what I call the chainsaw approach. If we cut our corrections officers 13%, and that personnel cost is such a significant part of the general fund budget, I just think you've got chaos. So the corrections officers who, and again I'm only going from what I read in the press this morning, were speaking to the Finance Committee hearing last night, where they were pointing out that after the layoffs that the proposed budget recommends from the House, the remaining corrections officers would have to put in significant overtime. And the pushback, that's not the right term, the comment that was coming back was, well, wait a minute, why would we be laying off officers and having other officers on overtime? Why wouldn't we keep officers on and not have overtime? Is that because of pensions and fringes, or what's going on here? And I think that kind of discussion needs to occur. I don't have the answer, rather than just say cut 13%. I want to know why. I want to know what could we do differently. What if